Hi there, everyone. This is Gayatri Jayaraman. Welcome back to Sky Gazing. I know I haven't uploaded for a little while, but I'm back now. So do remember to like, share, subscribe, and generally share the word. Today, I wanted to talk about a concept that I come across quite often in a lot of Buddhist chants. And this is the phrase, all my mothers. It's a very beautiful phrase, and I wanted to contemplate its meaning for a little while. So in Buddhism, we take refuge. We stand in front of this visualization of the Buddhas, your favorite gods, deities, gurus, and you stand with a field of people, of sentient beings, your parents, your siblings, partners, children, all the people in your life, anybody who may have impacted you, affected you in some way, helped you in some way, but also people who have harmed you, who have created an obstacle for you, who have become enemies, as we like to call them. And you stand with all of them and you take refuge. And you ask that everybody attains enlightenment. But the very beautiful thing that you also do is you stand with all your mothers. So what does it mean to stand with all my mothers? As Hindus, as Buddhists, as anyone, in the Indic philosophical tradition, we do believe in past lives, in rebirth, in karma that carries forward, and associations that continue. So if we do believe in past lives, we also believe that in each of those previous lives, we were born, right? And being born, we were born to a mother. So in every life that we have existed, we have had a mother. And they may have passed. We have passed and come into this life. But there is a belief that all these mothers exist in some form or the other around us. So you might have gotten married, entered as a bride into a new family where everything was strange and difficult. And you might have found one person there who was really nice to you, protective, showed you how to do things, very kind. For some of you, you've had the good fortune of that being your mother-in-law. For others, it could be a sister-in-law, an aunt, even maybe, your husband himself, could be a brother-in-law. In other places, we find mothers in workplaces, mentoring, guiding, looking after, protecting. It doesn't have to be only in the female form. It can also be in the male form. Men also make very good mothers. Some men are very kind. They look after you. They teach you. They guide, they correct. And we find these people crossing our paths, these mothers, whether male or female, whatever the gender identity is irrelevant, crossing our paths as we go through life. And that is a time in which this concept of all my mothers comes into play. Because firstly, it reminds you that you are not alone in this world. The people with whom you have had these associations in previous lives continue with you down your path. They will guide you, they will help you, they will offer you succor, protection. There are amongst us, and I see it with many clients, I see it with people I meet as friends. A lot of people have very difficult relationships with their mothers in this life. Not everybody has been blessed to have a wonderful mother, but fine, even if it is a difficult relationship, an angry relationship, a sad relationship, a disconnection, there is still it is a reminder that you are still not alone, that you have had mothers in many lives, and that nurturing and love will come to you in many forms. The second aspect of this is to understand that nothing that we do alone. So there are people who also birth your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams. Your mother could be a venture capitalist for your startup idea, someone who associates with you to build your business. Who is it that is bringing your ideas, thoughts, dreams, your ability to move forward in this world into existence? They are also playing a mothering role. They are also offering you nurturing. They are also looking out for you. That is also a form of mothering, right? And then look at yourself. Look at yourself in the multiple roles that you play. You are a mother in many ways to children around you. Yes, it could be your own children. It could be, the children of your siblings, your nephews, nieces. It could be neighbors, friends. It is not necessary that you have to have given birth to a child in order to be a mother. There are teachers who make amazing mothers to all the children who are in their care. There are all kinds of people who play these roles, and look at yourself in these multiple roles. Who are you a mother to? Also, what are you a mother to? What are you helping bring into this world? Who are you mothering? Who are you nurturing? You don't have to be doing something very lofty. You could even be teaching somebody in your household to cook. That is also an aspect of mothering. You could just be saying a prayer for somebody. That is also an aspect of mothering, this instinct we have to nurture and protect and to guide. All of it is mothering. So look at yourself in that form and say, who am I mothering? Look at others around you in that form. Who has mothered me? The bus driver who took you to school every morning, in some form is your mother, because they were careful. They drove carefully because they knew they had you in the back of the bus, and other children like you. They were careful not to have any accidents, that nobody should stick their hands out of the window. It's a small route, but very mindfully, very thoughtfully, very cautious of the passengers in the bus, these unique children from different homes. They drove you to school every single day so that you could get the education that you have. That is also mothering. We never go to the bus drivers and say thank you. We never wish them on Diwali. We never send them gifts. We never hug them. We never tell them that they are, appreciated or give them the gratitude. But that is also mothering. So without all these participants in our journey, we would not have become who we are at this moment. Why do we meet each other on this journey of life? Why are you listening to me? Why do I have a certain set of clients? Why am I a client to somebody else? What is this exchange of energy? What is this transaction? It comes into being because there is a certain connection. And this connection, this exchange of wisdom, of counsel, of guidance, of kindness, of compassion, this is also a mothering. So in many ways, the world is a series of events, circumstances, people being born every moment, moment to moment. We are creating a new reality. And every time that new reality is created, however small, it is mothered into being. It is an act of giving birth. Let's say you have a small idea. There's a venture you want to start, a small business, a store, a shop, a boutique. It is being mothered into existence. It's a process. Anybody who has started a business knows it's a huge process. There is a gestation period. You have to think of the idea. You have to think of it substantially enough that it acquires a name and form, nama rupa. It comes into being. it becomes something that is capable of manifesting in reality. That is an act of giving birth. Then it needs people who nurture, who supply. It could be vendors, it could be staff, it could be employees. It could be physical space. That manifestation is what brings it into being. That is an act of mothering. And then it needs to sustain until it reaches its peak. It acquires its mission. It fulfills the role that it is born to fulfill. You might say, what is the role of a store? Right? It could be a clothes store on a high street. What role does it have to fulfill? How many moments of joy have you had when you have entered a store, just browsed around, bought a gift for somebody, something so precious we hold on to, like say, family members passed and you remember that they had bought you this beautiful dress from a store for one Diwali. It's precious. It hangs in the back of your cupboard. You may not wear it anymore, but it is a precious memory. So there are, the store has to exist for us to be able to buy something, pass it on. And I'm not saying only the things we purchase, have purpose. It's just an example because we are using the example of how even a store is brought into being. For that scarf to reach you, to give you joy, to give you happiness, that gift, it has to be born in somebody's thought, in somebody's idea. Only then it manifests, takes form, takes shape, comes into existence. Then it intersects with somebody's desire to give you that gift. Enter the store, take a few moments of pleasure, finding what they think they need, and coming and gifting it to you. It's an entire process that has come into being and has mothered a small moment of joy for you. So this is the way in which the whole universe, the whole world is filled with this aspect of mothering. And I think the final aspect, which is so important to consider, is, are you a mother to yourself? And that's something a teacher once told me, which I really love this phrase. Be as a mother unto yourself. We take our roles as mothers very seriously for ourselves and others. We also become a little bossy, I think, as mothers. We think it's full of instruction. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Become very protective, very defensive. It's my job. But also, it is kindness, it is compassion, it is looking after, it is protecting, nurturing, guiding. How much of that do you do to yourself? We're constantly thinking it is somebody else's role to nurture us and protect us. But inside of us also, there is a small wounded child that has suffered through this samsaric role, through this push and pull, the tug of war with people, with circumstances, with life events, with our karma as it unfolds. And there is a little child inside all of us that is wounded, that is sort of looking for some compassion and kindness. And we get into the victim role very easily, saying, well, nobody gave me this compassion when I needed it. Nobody showed me kindness. I'm sitting here. Nobody has looked out for me. Have you looked out for you? Have you looked at yourself with the same compassion and kindness that you're waiting to look at another or to receive from another? What is stopping you? You have so much mothering in you to give someone else. Why don't you turn it towards yourself? Because your mothering is created by this mothering of others. The nurturing you have received, the kindness you have received, the compassion you have received has contributed to shaping you. That is making you capable of compassion, kindness, loving energy. And yes, we must direct it outwards, but also have you directed it towards yourself? If you don't sustain yourself with that kind of kindness, with that kind of compassion, with that kind of love, how can you pour it outwards? So it's very important as we go through life to remember that we have to turn this mothering inside to ourselves also. What are the ways in which you would sustain yourself? You would give yourself that compassion. Consider that, contemplate that. And you'll suddenly start to find that you don't feel so much lack in the world anymore. You don't feel so much alone. You don't feel like it's only your job to give and give and give. You'll start noticing the small ways in which other people are also giving to you, because of which you are standing where you are. And it's important as we go ahead in life to acknowledge and see this exchange of energy, this flow from one person to the other that creates us and sustains all of us. So I hope you'll take some time today to contemplate all your mothers, including yourself. Take care, and I will see you all soon.